Continuing your journey on the Great Allegheny Passage Trail, this video will take you from Boston, Pennsylvania to West Newton. Please give this video a like and consider subscribing. The Allegheny River will be with you until Confluence, PA. The Yough flows north its entire length, beginning in West Virginia, passing through Maryland, and ending here in McKeesport. The name is believed to be derived from the Native American Indian meaning to flow contrary. Regardless, the river is an important part of this area's history. Boston was the site of the first industry along the Yough when a salt mine was started here. With the growth of the coal and timber industries, Boston is just one of many small towns started along the Yough, and you will see them in the journey that lies ahead. Picture this area before cars, before steam engines, a time when the American Indians resided here, and just how primitive the forest would have been. The Yough Valley was home to many Native American Indian tribes, and the valley is still rich in Indian relics. The Gap Trail follows the old Pittsburgh and Lake Erie Railroad that ran to Connellsville. You will see a P&LE boxcar that was relocated in 2010 to be displayed here at Boston. This is next to the current ball field to your left, which was a small fort during the French and Indian War. The highway bridge you will pass under replaced the original bridge, which was built in 1893, and that bridge replaced a ferry that once operated here. Just upstream from here was one of two stone lock and dams to make the river navigable by steamboat before the railroads. In the 1850s, steamboats operated between West Newton and McKeesport, requiring the use of the lock and dams. One was located upstream from the bridge here in Boston, the second was near Buena Vista. These dams were damaged by ice in the winter of 1865 and finally destroyed in 1867. They were not rebuilt since the railroad was becoming the preferred mode of transportation at the time. You will notice as you leave Boston, you are leaving the big urban areas behind. After a few miles, you will pass through the area called Greenock, named after the same in Scotland. This is like most of the towns you will see along the Yough Valley. They were all founded on the coal mining industry, which was very dense along the Yough. There used to be 6 coal mines that operated in the 3 miles between Greenock and Dravo Cemetery. Today it has regrown with trees and underbrush, making it a quiet trail ride today, and you may never know such industry used to operate here. The Dravo Cemetery will be on your left, named after William Dravo, who operated a mine here until 1919. This was a very small town with a Methodist Episcopal church that stood where the pavilion sits today. The church burned down twice, possibly from passing train sparks, and was not rebuilt a third time. It is a place worth a stop to see the gravestones of the people who once lived here. 9 fought in the Civil War and 1 in the War of 1812. There are over 700 graves here. Adjacent, just to the east, is the Queen Aliquippa Campground, complete with shelters, tables, river access, and a sweet-smelling toilet, also known as a SST. Note that this area is not accessible by public road. Just past the campground is Stringtown Meadow, which has been replanted with native plants and today is owned by the Regional Trail Corporation to preserve the serene natural area. Making your way, the next interesting thing you will ride by is a unique waterfall on the right that is white from mine drainage. The aluminum hydroxides precipitated from the water, leaving the white deposit, not something normally seen in the area, but is directly related to the mine that was near here years ago. Around the bend from the waterfall will be Buena Vista, where the second lock and dam was built in 1850. Remnants can still be seen here across the river from where the riverboat access and parking are located today. This town was the place where striking coal workers battled strikebreakers in 1875. It was here that prior to the P&LE coming through in 1883, that a ferry operated for access to the Pittsburgh-Connellsville Railroad, which today is the active B&O Railroad on the other side of the Yough. Here at low water, it is said that you can see a sunken wooden barge from the era. In less than a mile, another unusual waterfall site will be the Red Waterfall. Most mine drainage produces a rusty brown deposit known as acid mine drainage, which can be seen right here. This water is from what used to be Ocean No. 2 mine. For perspective, there were 700 men employed by the 3 mines that once operated in this one spot. Not far from here and you will come to a highway where traffic doesn't stop, so use caution here. You may notice some old tracks that still cross the road as it leads across to the parking lot. Just before this crossing, on the left, is the previous location of coke ovens. We will see more of these in a well-preserved state later as we approach Connellsville. This location is also where a sky ferry was located before there was a bridge over the Yough. There were several operating sky ferries between Boston and Davis, and they transferred people across the river. About 4 more miles, and you'll be entering West Newton. This town has a long history, beginning in 1796 when it was first laid out as a town. The Visitor Center is not the original station, but it was built from the original station design plans in 2007 and put on the original location of the West Newton P&LE station. This is a great place to stop for a rest or for the night. The highway just past the Visitor Center is PA Route 136, which was part of the road going from New York City, New York to Los Angeles, California from 1914 to 1926. There are a few places to eat here, or you can cross the river on this bridge where you can find a grocery store, more eateries, and the like. We will continue this bike adventure in the next video as we travel to Connellsville, where the P&LE Railroad ended, but the rail line continued. Please leave a comment about your travels in this area. Hit that like button and consider subscribing. I hope you found this informative and helpful. You can read more about the area at the links in the description below.